Good morning. Okay, we're going to be finishing the Sikha 1992 Vayigash. God willing, today we'll finish it. It is all about being strong, having Jewish chutzpah, not being deterred by what seems to be the norms and the rules. When it comes to serving Hashem, we have the power of being connected to Hashem, which is beyond, God is beyond and above the creation of the world. So we don't have to, when we have a mission or job to get done, we don't have to take into the considerations of, the past or what worked, what didn't work, what's normal, what's not normal. If we have a mission or something that we stand up for, something true and right, then we can state it and expect it, and the nations of the world, the Rebbe says, will follow suit. They will accept it. They will not only accept it, he says, they'll support it. Let me just put something here. There we go. Yeah. Just turn on the light. Okay. So when we stand strong, the Rebbe says, as an individuals, as a nation, we know what we need to be doing, what's correct, what's truth, and we hold it to be true, and we stand for it, and we know that we have, and this we could do, he said, when we're constantly in touch and in tune with God's will, okay? If we're trying to serve God constantly, whether it's keeping Torah mitzvahs, and even when we're doing permissible things, we're also tuning into God's will. Is this aligned with what God's creation was for, what I was created for? If we're aligned with, I'm here to serve my maker, is this, I'm doing this because I want to serve God fully in everything I do, not just in the things that I was commanded, or that there's, mitzvahs that I know are holy things to do, but everything, my whole life is about service of God. Then a person can stand up with that conviction, chutzpah, and strength, and be successful, not only in changing the situation, but also changing the people who are aware of what's going on. And in our case, the Rebbe was saying the nations of the world, and that they will not only allow it, but they'll assist you. So that's, and the Rebbe says, especially in our generations, the end of Golus, the end of exile, we see this happening more, that Jews are free to keep Torah and mitzvahs and to do things, not just out of freedom, but to do things in their way, with the balabatiskite and breitkeit, with their, expansiveness. And we can do it like we're the owners. We're in command and control of ourselves. We can do it as we think is correct. And the nations do support us. When we stand strong, they support us. So that's a kind of like a little bit of a recap of yesterday. And he says the whole world is also, the whole world, everywhere. The Yiddishkeit Torah has been, Chassidus has been reached all four corners of the earth, all katzvei teva, all ends of the earth. And the whole world is a vessel to receive these ideas of Yiddishkeit, of Torah mitzvahs, and when it comes to the non-Jews, to receive the 7 mitzvahs of Bnei Noach. They're all ready to receive these laws of the 7 Noachite laws. And the whole thing there was, and then there brings the parable of the guna of till now we've been like till Mashiach comes, it's like the Jewish people are like a woman who is betrothed to Hashem. That's the parable. And then the husband went off to another country over the ocean, and the woman is left alone, like an aguna. And the coming of Mashiach is going to be the true reunion of the Jewish people with Hashem. So, and the Rebbe says we need to just look around and see, open up our eyes. It doesn't say look around, it says open the eyes to see that the whole world is demanding that each and every Jewish person should be on this stage ready for and prepared for the Gula. Like the world wants us to be ushering in this era. And we have to say that Rebbe says that the reason we can stand so strong nowadays and be like in command and control of ourselves and what we do, and the nations of the world follow us and what we're doing, and we see that it only depends on our will and our desire, it's because we are standing right before Geula. And when we will have Mashiach, David Abdi, David my servant, will be the king, of the ruler, the Nasi for everybody. So that's why we see that in our generation, we are on this state where we could do what we want. We could stand strong and people and the nations will follow us. Okay. And yeah, okay. So we get also, the Rebbe says we get energy from the previous Rebbe, whose name was Yosef. So like Yehuda going to Yosef, the leader of the generation is Yosef. The Frierdiker Rebbe's name was Yosef. And so we're getting energy, not just from ourselves and our strength, but we're getting energy from the Rebbe. Okay? To be strong. Okay, so now 13. העניין דבריגש של יהודה, התוקף הבעלבתיות של בני ישראל על העולם, בדורנו הזה מודגש גם ביום ה' טבת, שהיה ביום חמישי, לפני שבת, ושבת זין טבת הוא בתוך כמה ימים ה' טבת. So the Rebbe is saying, let's connect this to the holiday that we just had. The Rebbe said it's Hei Teves, the 5th of Teves. The Shabbos that the Rebbe says the Sicha is the 7th of Teves, which is my birthday. But they were speaking about what happened on Hei Teves, the 5th of Teves. יום זה קשור לשחרור פדיון שבויים של הספרים כתבים של רבותינו נשיאנו, באופן שהיה לקח הסכם המלא בעשייה ומשפטי אומות העולם לעיני כל העמים בבית המשפט הפדרלי. The Rebbe says what happened on the 5th of Teves was there was a redeeming of the books and holy writings of the previous rabbis in a way that there was a full permission and help through the higher court of the nations of the world. So it became clear to all the nations of the world in the federal court that these books are to be redeemed, given back to the previous, to the Chassidim, and they're helping us get them back. אך ישנם עדיין ספרים בכתבי יד של קוד קדושת מלחמי אדמו"ר ושל אביו אדמו"ר מואשב נשמותיו הנמצאים בשביה במדינה ההיא ועדיין לא הוחזרו למקומם. אף על פי שגם בנוגע להם כבר הייתה פקודת המלכות, גם של אומות העולם שישחררו אותם. So there says, however, there's still some books, some sfarim, and manuscripts that are of the previous Rebbe and the Rebbe Rashab that are still in captivity in Russian. They were still not returned to their rightful place, even though that there was a decree from the nation, from the Malchus, from the land of the law, even of the Ummos Olam, of the nations of the world, they decided there was a ruling that they're supposed to be redeemed. They're supposed to be released, those books. The books that are in Russia, there's a whole huge library in Russia, it's in a museum over there, and it belongs to the Frierdiker Rebbe and the Rebbe Rashab. Now, ומקשרים זאת גם לכך שבימים האחרונים התבטלה עיר הבירה של המדינה ההיא, ועד שהעבירו אותה לעיר אחרת, על פי כתיבת וחתימת החוקים המשפטיים של המדינה ההיא, כיוצא בזה דינא דמלכות הדינא. So the Rebbe says he's connecting it to the fact that also lately, in the last few days, the Rebbe says the how do you say, the main city, the Ir Bira, how do you say okay, for some reason I didn't have my coffee. The Ir Bira, the central city, whatever, the capital was moved to a different capital, to a different city. They moved it. And that was according to the laws of the land in that country. We're talking about in Russia. So the Rebbe is asking, what can we do? What can each and every one of us do to make this return of the books happen faster? So the answer is simple. The answer the Rebbe says is simple. To adding into your home, bringing into your home new books that every man, woman, and child can do this, bringing new books into their home. That with words of Torah that will add to the Sfarim, the books that you already have as part of the home that has full of holy books. So that's something that spiritually will have an impact on redeeming the other books. Nowadays it's very easy. Yes, we could even do it, click on Amazon. The Rebbe says it's easy. This is 30 years ago. It's easy. What? You're trying to say something? it's easy. Are you trying to say something? Are you trying to raise your hand, Karen? No.
No.
Okay, good. Okay, it's easy to do what the Rebbe says, to buy a new sfarm, because there's always sfarm being printed and with new things in Torah. And things that are reprinted and new things. So it's easy to buy these books. It's easy also to add more and more in receiving and buying these books.
But Yossi Kunin and his dad were trying to get those books.
Yes, I know.
And I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well, they're in the library in Russia. And the good part, I guess the only good thing I guess you could think of it, see it, is that you are allowed to go into the library and take a look, to make an appointment. At least it was like this a few years ago. I don't know what it's like now, but you can go. People can go and see the books, visit the books, learn from them if they want to. I just had a flash idea. Maybe the Jews should make such a, I don't know if maybe they did try this. Go there so much. I don't know if the Russians would go for this, but go there in America. You could storm the library and have so many Jews there, so all day long, 24 hours, clamoring to read the books. Then maybe they'll realize they're needed, and they might not want so many visitors in the museum. Maybe they'll let them out. I don't know. This is just a thought, but I'm an American. I don't know the Russian.
They might think that's not worth it. It's not worth having these books to have all these Jews in here all the time.
Right, but somehow they might find another way around that. In America, that might bring enough attention to the fact that those books belong to them. And how could
Russia is different, a different story.
Russia is a little different, yeah. Okay. Okay, כידוע הצבעה שנסידון בזה שספר צריך לעלות כסף, עד שהוא מדפיס את המחיר על גבי כמה קונטרסים, ותם הדבר הוא הסביר, משום שבעולם מלשון הלם ואסתר, הרי דבר חשוב עולה כסף, ויסודו במאמר מנוזר, רופא המרפא בחינם שווה כסף, שווה חינם. ועל אחת כמה שכן צריך להיות בנוגע לדברי תורה, תורה שמביאה, services like this. We know the explanation of the Rebbe, the leader of our generation, the previous Rebbe, that a book should cost money. And he instructed what the price should be on certain volumes or certain publications that they made, booklets. And the reason he said is because in the world, the world is concealment, right? And if when an important thing costs money, okay, that's how it is in the world of concealment. Something very chashuv, worthy and worthwhile, important, costs money. Like it says also, it says in the rabbis say, a doctor who cures people for free is also not worth free. Like it's not worth. Don't go to a doctor that doesn't charge, basically, because that's, he doesn't have value if he's not charging. So too, the Rebbe says when it comes to words of Torah, the Torah brings healing, health to the world. So whoever's quick is better. It's the best to be quick. Take on resolutions to do this. Back then and do this quickly, actually as quick as possible. Also, they encourage people to to be like subscribed to like a book thing where you can get publications. You pay for them as they come out. As soon as they come out, they're sent to you. Okay. It's like a subscription. לתת ספרי קודש נתפסים כמתנה לאחרים, כולל ילדים קטנים, לקראת שמחה שלהם או לפני חג וכיוצא בזה. The Rebbe says it's also good to use the custom, the Jewish custom, to give holy books that are being printed as gifts to others, including little children, before a simcha, a celebration that they have, or before a yantiv, etc. ויהיה רצון שעל ידי זה שכל אחד ואחד ירחיב את פעולותיו בקבלת ספרים חדשים, זה יעזור עוד יותר לתקים בפועל ויגש עליו יהודה, לפדיון שבויים של בנימין. And should be Hashem's will that each and every one of you should expand your activities, receiving new books. And this will encourage also will hasten more this idea, this happening of Yehuda will approach with redeeming the hostages, which is Binyamin, the hostage, which is Binyamin. Shekolasem, all the books and all the manuscripts of our holy rabbis will go back to their correct place, the 770, the house of our Rebbe in Babel in exile. And 770 is Gematria Paratzta, like we said 2 weeks ago. We add all the Sfarim and the manuscripts together to all the ones that are there already will be included. They'll all be together, all the books and manuscripts. This should bring also the redemption of the hostages of all the what are held as hostage, also all the holy sparks that are in the world. So meaning I didn't see this until now, but now it seems like also the Rebbe was saying that buying new holy books could help the redemption of any type of redemption of hostages. So maybe that would also help the hostages, possibly. It seems like it would help our hostages when we buy new books for people. The tekef miyad mamash olchim kol bnei Yisrael b'na'inu b'zkeneinu b'bneinu b'bnteinu b'kasvam v'zaram mitam kol sfrim v'aktavim shalahem la'atzeinu akdasha l'rashnayim v'kodesh ha'kodesh ha'beis ha'mikdash ha'shlishi v'kodesh ha'kadoshim sheba nimtzet even hashtia b'li shinui b'nizman b'riat ha'olam kol ze tekef miyad mamash. So the Rebbe says immediately, mamash, we should go together, the whole Jewish people, with our children, with our elders, with our sons, daughters, with all our money, with silver and gold, all this, including all the Sfarim, all the books, and all the manuscripts, to our holy land, to Yerushalayim, the holy city, to the holy mountain, to the holy Beis HaMikdash, the Holy of Holies in it, and where we have the foundation stone, the cornerstone, which has not been changed since the creation of the world, and this all should happen take a immediately, mamish. So we finished this pretty fast. But the new thing that I got from this is that maybe having new books can also help the redeem the hostages, because he says it will help any, right? The Rebbe writes Pidyon Shvurim, it helps redeem hostages, and including all the sparks of holiness that are spread around the world that are still left to be gathered. So what do you ladies think? What's your
One time I ordered our Rabbi Meir Hai was teaching us out of the Palm of Devorah.
Rivka's here.
And
Rivka.
Hi, Rivka. Rivka, I was just going to tell a Meir Hai story. So we're talking about we were talking about books and giving books, and we were learning from Palm Tree of Devorah, and the rabbi had it in Hebrew, and he said that it would be nice if we all read it, and he didn't know what it looked like the translation, what would it be like if it were in English. So when I bought one for myself in English, I also bought one for him, and I took it to him, and he said, I shouldn't take a book for free, I should pay for it. So he said, even if it's at 10 cents, now I have to give something for this book. So what we're talking about giving books. So what have you heard? And even Rivka on this end.
Welcome from we're talking about from who just came in, maybe even I don't know when Rivka came in. At the very last final paragraph that we're learning, Yud Gimel, this Sicha Vayigash, the Rebbe is saying that the Pidyon Shvurim, redeeming the books, will happen through buying books now and adding Sfarim to our collection of books that we already have in our homes, and we should do it by. He gives different scenarios of how to buy new books, and also give them as gifts to people when you have before Yantiv. Or so there's a custom to give books to people before a Yantiv or before what was it?
A Simcha?
Before Simcha, I think. Yeah, before Simcha and before a Yantiv. So like if there's a birthday or this or that. But then he said also any type of pidyon shvuim can happen, any type of redeem of hostages can happen in the merit of buying books, and that also the redemption of all the holy sparks, he says, that are spread around the world. So, of course, when we're reading pidyon shvuim, we're thinking about the hostages. So I'm wondering if it seems from here that the Rebbe is saying we buy books, it can help redeem the hostages, the physical, whatever hostages we have. The Rebbe says it causes pidyon shvuim, it causes redemption of holy sparks. He mentions it redeemed the hostage of Binyamin in the time of Yehuda. Yehuda was able to redeem the hostage, which was Binyamin. So what do you take, Rivka? What do you think? Does this mean we buy books that can help them redeem the hostages in Gaza?
When you were reading it, this is exactly what I thought. Came to my mind. That to say something about what Chavarachel said, I think my husband possibly based himself on what we saw all the years by the Rebbe. Whoever would print a book and bring a copy to the Rebbe, this is what the Rebbe always said, that he will participate. He's not going to take it just as a gift, but he needs to participate in the and to not necessarily to buy it, but the Rebbe would say to hishtadlos, like it would be his part in the
participation.
participation in
would give the dollar, an extra dollar for that person. For
an extra dollar, yeah. The Rebbe would give an extra dollar for every book that was printed and brought to him throughout the years, independently of Heiteves or not.
Yes.
So probably that this is what
I remember there was somebody who
was
said
Yeah.
when he told you that.
Because he didn't say he wanted to pay for it. He just said to give something. So that sounds
Yeah.
like it.
what's it called? It reminds me of a story. There was a man who stayed by us many years ago from Yerushalayim, and he wrote Svarim Chumash. I don't think it was Chassidus. It was a Pirush Niglan, Chumash. Explanations, I guess, on the Purushim of the, just the regular Nigla, the revealed parts of Torah. And he once went by the Rebbe and he gave the Rebbe his book, his first book that he printed, I think, on Bereishis. And the Rebbe looked at it and gave him, he said, this is for the book, my participation, like we're talking about. I gave him $1, and then he gave him another $1 should be for the Shemos, and another $1 for Vayikra, another $1 for another $1 for the. And he was totally shocked. He was like a Yerushalmi. He wasn't even a Chabad. He never expected it, and it's on video. So I had the video, and he gave us actually his set of books that he had printed when they were all completed, the Chumash, the whole set. But but there's lots of videos of people coming to the Rebbe. You could see it, and the Rebbe giving them $1 participation in the book that he gave. Yeah, that they wrote. So I also saw for the first Sefer Torah, it was either the first or the second, the Sefer Torah that the Rebbe said to write for the Unity Torah. The Rebbe also gave $1,200 of his participation in it to be part of the cost of writing the Sefer Torah, be a part of the partner in it. And I don't remember where I saw that video. I have to catch things at the moment, but there was I remember either seeing it in writing or it was a video. I'm pretty sure it was a video. If anybody finds it, let me know if it was a video or whether it's in written. But when the Rebbe instructed to write this Unity Torah, he said he's going to give from his own, and he gave $1,200. So anyway, it's a big deal. What else? What else are your thoughts? Should we buy a Sefer?
How's the Sefer Torah coming along with this?
My husband was offered some other work to do, and I'm like, you don't have time. You have to finish the Sefer, to write the Sefer Torah. So I'm gonna, God willing, I'm speaking to somebody about having him help me set up the website better. Hiring somebody to do set up the website so it flows better, so people can just understand better. It's more clear, and they can just participate easily through the website without them having to get frustrated or not frustrated or just not participate because it's not so clear. So we want people to come and be able to understand clearly and buy us a letter and continue on. So I'm working on that. Hashem sent me somebody, when we went to Chabad of Oxnard, there's somebody there who does marketing, and he himself bought a letter when he was there, when we came to do the event in Oxnard, and he took a picture of himself with the Sefer Torah and he posted on his Facebook, and he did his own little marketing thing right then and there. And he understands it. He's a Chabad person, and he understands the idea, and he really loves this idea and thinks it should be really, it's nice when you find somebody who really is excited by the mitzvah and wants to put themselves into it and help out, make this get out in a better way. And then they know what they're doing and what they're saying. So it's all Hashgacha Pratis. Hashem sends us the right people, the right times, the right places to make it happen. But I want to hear from you. What do you take from this sikha about the standing strong, and then the end, which is the Rebbe says, in actuality, the Bais farm. What do you think? Because I know for me, it's. I guess buying. I guess for me, I need to take it into getting more people to buy letters in the Sefer Torah, because my house doesn't have room for more. There's so many books. I shouldn't say it doesn't have room, but I don't have bookshelves to put more books on. If I buy more books, I'd have to pile them.
Well, maybe you could also give gifts, like the Rebbe was saying, I was thinking, like, my daughter has a tutor, and what should I get her? And I just thought that the best thing to do is buy, I bought her a Tehillim, but I still felt like if you give a sefer, something they always have and they appreciate it.
Yes.
So I don't know, maybe that's an idea. Like if you, I'm just thinking of
grandkids,
grandkids and taking them out and getting them gifts of.
Well, I'd say that they're participating in getting that book should be $1 towards the Sefer Torah that Yehudit's husband's writing.
Well, that could be also.
That's nice. Thank you, Karen. Yeah. So for sure, all the kids also need their own letter in the Sefer Torah and the Kids Torah, kidstorah.org. I'm sure all of you know about it, and they all have, your kids can have, but they can have also in the regular Unity Torah. There's also a regular Unity Torah. They can have in both, I think. I'm pretty sure they can have, in addition to the regular Unity Torah, they can have also in the Kids Torah. And and what was nice also when we went to Oxnard, the rabbi, for the zchut of his kids, for each one of his kids, he has 10 kids so each one of his member of his family, he bought a letter for a soldier, meaning he couldn't buy for his kids, but he bought in their merit for, so he bought 12 letters in the merit of each of his family members, Baruch Hashem K'nayin Hara, a letter for 12 letters for 12 soldiers. So that's another thing. So
such a nice touch.
Right. And he had his kids with him. 2 of his kids were with him, and they held his hand while he did it. And they got the video. It was such a good chinuch, such a good educational thing for his kids to have, to be able to know they're buying a letter in the Sefer Torah for a soldier. Yeah. And the truth is, I'll tell you one thing, the kids were waiting around for their father for a long time. There was school, and it was after school. You need to take them home, but we were there, so he was distracted talking to us and with the Sefer Torah and this and that, and they were antsing to get home. You could see when are we going to get home? When are we going to get home? One of them, and one of his kids, he was a little kid, poor kid. I felt sorry for him. As soon as his father had him come sit with him and put his hand on him to write the letter for the Sefer Torah, after that kid did not open his mouth one more piece. He was just staying for another hour or so. He had no problem hanging around. He was in a different zone. He was taken. I think he felt that energy of being able to be part of this. It was just, he realized this is just knowing about it, seeing that it was happening didn't matter. him being part of it, then after that, he was just like, was happy to hang around. He went home eventually. But I thought that was very special because you could see the transformation in the kid. And he just like you could see. There was another person there also. He had been in the IDF before, in a few of wars, I think, or not in any wars. He was in the IDF, but missed all the wars. And he was an older, not terribly old, but already beyond going to wars or going to battle. He was living in Oxnard, and he came to buy letters in the Sefer Torah. And you could also see when he was putting his hand on my husband's hand to write the letter, his face was completely different. It was just like in another space, in another zone, another world. I have a video of him. I should actually send it to him. It was you could see he was having full intention of thinking of these soldiers when he was doing it. Anyway, so that's my little stories. Okay, I want to hear from you. What else? Hachlotas tovas of welcome, Chavi. Any achlata tova from Hey Tevis, Chavi? I'm putting you on the spot. We're talking about what the Rebbe says that the redeeming the books is a redemption. Like buying books redeems not only the books but redeems hostages. The Rebbe says it brings a pita and shvuim. And he says any type of shvuim, like all sparks of holiness that are kept captive and hostage. So he says, just like Yehuda redeemed Binyamin, we can redeem other hostages. So we're wondering and we're considering, and it seems like the Rebbe is saying, if we buy books, it could help redeem hostages. That's what it seems from here. Aside from the books, because he says it doesn't just redeem the books, it redeems all sparks of holiness and all hostages. Those are the Rebbe's words. And then, so we're trying to figure out how we can apply it to our life. So Karen was saying, buy letters in the Sefer Torah, right? Because that's also part. It's buying the holiest book you can buy. It's not just buying the regular books. It's buying a Torah. It's being part of the Torah, right?
Well, what I was saying is that when we give a book to
Yeah.
any person, say this will mean more if you participate, and you can participate by giving $1 to having a Sefer Torah written.
So you're saying we should suggest to people to buy a letter in the Sefer Torah.
Correct.
Right.
When we give them a book.
You give them a book. You could let them know about the myth so that they can buy a letter in a Sefer Torah.
Oh, it sounds
Connected
like
to-
maybe
As
connected,
the participation of
right? Like
getting,
the Rebbe said, like this is my participation in your
I see.
Sefer.
I
So
see.
it-
Okay. Okay. Like with Rivka's husband, Rabbi Ben Chiyun, he took on this Rebbe's Hanagan, would participate in the book. When somebody
right,
he'd give back some money for it. So
right,
to show his participation in the book.
right.
I see. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, okay, Javi, you just came here. We're saying that when people would come, Rivka said this, when people would come to the Rebbe and give them a book that they published, the Rebbe would give like $1 or some money in maybe sometimes more participation in the printing of this book, or Hishtafos, even though it was already printed, but he gave his participation for this publishing of this book. And sometimes he'd give it for the future publications, but I would always give back something to be participant in this good publishing of it or printing or whatever it is of this book. So I see. So Karen's saying we can also recommend to people to also, when we give them a gift, to recommend to them to also take part, give $1 towards the writing of a Sefer Torah, because that's also like it's more than
When you
just
give them a book,
Mhm.
like Hava Rachel said that when she gave a book to her rabbi,
Yeah, it's Rabbi Ben
he
Chiyun.
wanted to participate in it, and
Yeah.
he didn't want to just
Take
receive the gift, a safer without participating.
participating in the book or in the acquisition of the book, because in her case
Right.
she didn't print the book, but she bought the book, so he wanted to participate in the purchase of the book. I see. Okay, so it's taking this to a whole. This discussion is, for me, is bringing it to a whole nother level. is that, okay, there's different opportunities. We can either participate in the purchase of the book when somebody gives us a book, okay? We can participate in the printing or the publishing of the book if the person had actually been the one who printed or published it. And then we can participate in the writing of a Sefer Torah if the person is actually writing the Torah. So there's different people for participation.
I'd like to share another option, may I?
Yes, yes, please, that's what we're here for.
Something that I don't know if people will feel it's connected. So I guess that's up for
Your
question.
father,
But
yes, your great-grandfather's book.
I wasn't even thinking of that. But yes, Baruch Hashem, that's getting almost finished. Baruch Hashem, the 5 volumes. But what I was also thinking is the Rebbe's encouragement to us to write our own books. You know, Parshas Bamidbar, the Torah Chadasha that we all have, that the Rebbe is really, really encouraging us to, more than encouraging, telling us we must write what it is that we know and we understand. And I guess on Hey Teves, I did strengthen my hachlata. I guess it changed as well to write to the Rebbe. I'm saying this hopefully so that it will strengthen my doing it. But my understanding of my need to write to the Rebbe daily in a book that allows me to really explore a lot of questions and parts and thoughts that I don't even necessarily take the time to think about. You know, connecting it to what my father, Oliver Shalom, once said about the Rebbe when I asked him what I should tell the women in my community when it was a gathering. And I asked my father, what should I tell them about the Rebbe? My father said, you can share with them that the Rebbe knew me intimately more than any other person in the entire world. So just connecting those dots of being able to write, to really make more attachments, I guess, deeper attachments. So that is Baruch Hashem, what I've been doing since Hey Teves. And I'll just share one quick miracle that happened the day I committed to doing this, and I didn't do it. Because of so many things going on in the day, and I kept thinking, okay, I'll do it now, I'll do it now, I'll do it now. And then in the middle of the night, I'm like waking up, I'm like, okay, I am not going out or doing anything else that's extracurricular until I've done it today. And then in the morning when I was getting dressed, I was pulling out a sweater from under a pile of sweaters in my cubby high up in my closet. And there was a book on the top of that, a pile of sweaters, not normally where I would put a book ever. In general, I don't have books in that closet. And it fell straight into my arms. Now, I need to just say the way I caught it, normally when something falls like that, it either just goes to the floor, or if you're lucky enough to catch it, you catch it with your hands. This book fell in my arm and landed exactly in the position, much like a baby, you know, like creviced in your arm, but it was the book instead of baby. And this book was the younger years of the Rebbe that my husband had finished reading, that I'd put in the closet because I knew I wanted to read it someday, that recently I'd moved it from the shelf on top of the sweaters. I don't even remember why, but that was a very recent thing. And now it literally fell in my arm with the Rebbe's face looking at me. And this picture is very connected to me because I have a drawing of it in my living room. So it's a picture I look at a lot. And the fact that it fell in that position is very significant. But the point is, the Rebbe was looking at me in a second. It's like the book slipped and boom, the Rebbe's looking at me.
And was it the picture of the Rebbe when he was 3 years old, like a child?
No, it's the one where the Rebbe's, I think, in his 20s with a hat.
Yeah, he's still young.
Yeah, still young. That's on the cover of that book.
Yeah.
I was astounded. And then one more connection I want to make. My fellow shlucha, Verle Maris, just put out a beautiful interview on Human and Holy about being a Beinani. One of the, I don't see everything exactly like she was sharing, but it was a beautiful, beautiful discussion. And at the end, she said something brilliant, which I just feel is appropriate here as we're thinking of writing or learning or buying Sfarim, whatever it is. She made the connection between the Derech Kutsera in Tanya, where we, when we're having a struggle, we go right to our connection with the Eibishter, and we don't want to be severed. So that koyach is going to help me not do something wrong in the moment. And she connected it to the concept of attachment theory. She says that's what the Alter Rebbe is really encouraging us to do. Remember the attachment. And I think what we're discussing, what you're teaching, Yehudit, in the Dvar Malchus, and what we constantly are learning is the how to attach. We've missed the attachment because we come to this world and we fall into galus, but we're constantly learning. And of course, all the Sfarim are filling us in into how to attach. So I guess that's really a big part of my understanding of Hey Teves is that it's the opportunity to go deeper as we buy more Sfarim, as we learn more, as we write, as we whatever it is we're doing. It's the day-to-day nitty-gritty attachments that are being developed as we do this avodah.
Beautiful. Okay. Wow. Thank you, Chavi. I'm so glad you shared that. That's a very good visual of a book falling into your arms.
Yeah.
When you made that haflata to write your book, to write you're writing your thoughts, your journaling.
I'm writing my thoughts. I don't necessarily see it as a book. I'm writing my thoughts, my questions, my understandings, my all that.
Do you write it handwriting?
My struggles, my handwriting. I write in my own handwriting, and it's a book. It's a journal. It's like one continuous journal that is to the Rebbe Melech Mashiach.
Beautiful.
And I'm committed to writing anywhere between 20 minutes and an hour a day.
And you just go with the flow, whatever thoughts come to you, or you have specific ideas or things that you want to work through, or how do you
both? It's being in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's being in the moment and being open to whatever, and you get, anybody that does this kind of writing will tell you, just in general, even in the secular world, that as you do this, you get, you make space for thoughts to come to you. Of course, everything is divine. So, you hear different thoughts also as you're writing,
You make yourself into a vessel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're receptive and open to hear what you're thinking. I lately I've been thinking, from what I'm getting also from the Ibris is that, from these teachings from Machos, is that we need to continually, be in this mindset of listening to the messages. Our thoughts, our connection to Hashem and our thoughts are very important. And to be conscious of what our thoughts are, is also, and that's what you're trying to do. And you're opening up yourself to listening to your thoughts. When you're writing, you're making yourself, I'm fully engaged in paying attention to what I'm thinking about and putting it down on paper. So, but the goal is to be able to do that also, like all the time, to pay more attention to our thoughts and to be open, if we have a good thought, to pay attention to it, not to dismiss it. So, or, not pay, I'm saying to hop it, to catch it. If we have a good thought, be in tune and pay attention to it and either think about it, speak about it, act on it, do something so that it's redeemed, as you can say, maybe redeemed.
Yeah, I also think it's connected to our intuition, Yehudit.
Yes.
Because thought and intuition are very interconnected. So as you're listening to your thoughts, and you're listening to your deepest self, especially when you're writing to the Rebbe, you're obviously opening your deepest self up. That kind of turns it very serious.
Yes.
Then you also are getting more access to your intuition.
Right. So you're journaling, you're actually writing to the Rebbe when you're saying you're writing every day?
Yes. This is specifically writing to the Rebbe.
Specifically writing to the Rebbe every day.
Yeah.
Excellent. So
do you then look at a letter, or you probably just you write to the Rebbe and then you feel what he responds?
Well, I could. I don't. It's not part of my routine yet. I do look for letters from time to time, but it's not part of what my attempt to do is here. My attempts, yeah,
that makes sense. I was just curious.
That's a separate thing. Yeah, that's a separate thing. But this is just really to not rely on anything like that from the outside, but just to
To
just
merge,
to have very personal. Yeah, exactly.
merge your thoughts.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Merge. That's good.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yes.
Wow.
It's very powerful. So you must have a lot of aha moments every day. No? You must get these,
Yes, I also have a lot of resistance to be very vulnerable. I also have a lot of resistance in, maybe not today, but I don't know if, in general, for me to get to this point, I was very resistant of it, and who knows what, the next day and the next day will bring. So it's, it's a path. It's a journey. It's not, you're clearing the way internally to be able to do this. And yeah, there are aha moments. There are aha moments.
Good morning.
Good morning, Alyssa.
Did you guys finish all the Devar Malchut?
Yes, we finished it, and we had a nice little bringing with
Were there any aha moments?
I had a aha moment from listening to all the ladies who participated. Each one was another aha moment. The woman shared. I can recap what I heard. What I heard from Chavi is she took upon herself recently.
I heard that. Oh,
you heard that
from the Devar. What the Rebbe said, the Devar Malchut.
The Devar Malchus. The aha moment was that the Rebbe said that buying sperm, it redeems captives. It redeems other sperm that are in captivity, like there's still books in Russia, and it also redeems any type of captive. He brings the example of Yehuda releasing the captive Binyamin, and then he goes to say all holy sparks that are still spread around are redeemed through buying sperm. And the Rebbe gave ideas of how to buy for special events and for gifts. And before Yantivs. And so the aha moment was that maybe by either purchasing sperm, and then Chavi said not just purchasing, but also writing our own writings. Yeah, right. The Rebbe encourages us to write our thoughts and our insights in Torah, and Chavi's writing not just insights in Torah, she's writing her questions and and her thoughts as they as she figures things out. But the point is that writing words of Torah or purchasing books of Torah, it can have, it seems from what the Rebbe is saying, it's very clear, can have a redemptive effect on hostages.
Only or also for bringing redemption, because you're redeeming the sparks.
Yes, yeah, bringing redemption to the world, but there's this pidyon shvuim, redeeming hostages. So that's very like nogea, like it says, nogea.
Now, yeah.
And also, what I got also from this discussion personally, the Rebbe would participate in people who gave him books. So there's participation in the printing of books, there's participation in purchases of books, and there's participation in writing a Sefer Torah also. It's all connected. Because there's a big, a big zchut, a big merit to be participant in printing or writing or of books. Yeah. Or purchasing. I guess all stages. It can be a participant. And so
I thought of something. Like Chana, she wrote the Tanya and poetry, Hana Vula.
yes.
And so I think it's nice to buy each other's books too. Like Javi, your father wrote a book, right? About his thoughts about the Rebbe. No, father too, right, Javi? Javi? Because I have it. I have the book.
Yes, I have her book too.
Yes, sorry, I was away from the phone. Yes,
Okay.
he well, it's not his own writing. That is a record of his 13 hours with private audience with the Rebbe. That's a recording. Right. Yeah.
But it's still a book. That he put the words on the pages.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's his conversation, so it's still his Torah Chadasha with the Rebbe. Yep.
So we'd love to have that. Copies for sale?
Yeah, I don't know how many copies are left. It was in Judaica World for many years. Don't know what's there now.
What's it called?
Guidance from the Rebbe,
Mhm.
with a drawing of the Rebbe on the front. It's a thin gray book.
I got it from Amazon, I think.
Oh, okay. I know it was translated into Hebrew.
I don't know
I'm
how
not
I got
sure,
it.
like when, not sure exactly. I can't remember because it was a couple of years ago. Like, but I think it was from Amazon.
Nice. Well, if you ever print your book, Javi, I'm already making an order. Okay. Javi,
Hobby.
she's away from the phone. So
Okay,
I
I'm
have-
back. Yes.
Same
Okay, I got
Bleeder.
it. Great.
Blinetta, I'm putting in my order for your when you print your book.
Oh,
I have a book. I wrote a book of the quotes of Rabbi Meir Hai Ben Hiyun in his Tanya class. It's a
Ah,
journaling book, and it's for drawing and writing in. But it's not it's not a big designed book. I published it.
and how do we get that?
That's called The Sojourner, and you can look it up. I can send a link too.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
And there are other quotes mixed in. It's in different it's in like for oneself, for like a couple people, and then for groups. It's the rabbi suggested I put some order to it, and that's the order that I put to it.
Wonderful. It sounds exciting.
I'll
Rivka,
send a link.
thank you, thank you. Is there any others? Is there any sefer that your husband wrote, Rivka?
He wants to.
He wants to.
He wants to write one on
Well, maybe we
conversion.
should give a bracha to each other, all of us to each other, that we should all print books. We should publish, write, publish, and print our book and our husbands' writings.
Rivka, who just asked if the rabbi wrote a book, if Rabbi Ben Hiyun.
Oh, no.
Okay, so we're giving him a bracha. They should be able to publish his book, and every one of us also should be able to write and print our books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
Chadashim. Our Torah Chadashim. And starting from, remember this achlata. By the way, for all of you, remember on my birthday, I dedicated the class to two soldiers that are my daughter-in-law's brothers. One was in Gaza, one was just a representative to the UN in the northern border of Syria, so he's not in the combat zone. But the one that was in Gaza, that right after the class, probably within a few hours, but immediately that same day, for them it was night, they got a notice that he's coming out of Gaza for 48 hours, and they hadn't heard from him for weeks. So
Wow.
yeah. So I called his mother also on my birthday to give her a bracha on my birthday, and she told me that they had just gotten notice.
Wow.
That he's coming out she was so ecstatic. And then also there was another friend who has her grandson it was in Gaza. He was one of that platoon that redeemed remember at the courthouse at the very beginning of the war? He was there was that big fancy courthouse, huge beautiful building, and they took a picture in front of it. They were like one of the first major buildings that they had taken over. So that her grandson was in that battle and in that picture. And so she bought letters. She was the one who bought the letters for her grandson and his whole platoon. And the day that she bought it was Yud Kislev. They were all notified that they're being moved out of the exact war zone into a safer place. And then I called her on my birthday before Shkia. I said, I want to give you a bracha for your grandson and this and that. And then she sent me a text. Oh, your bracha worked, because we just got, the next morning she sent me a bracha text. They're coming out for 48 hours. He had been in Gaza for 45 days. straight. And they were right after the bracha, she said, oh, he's coming home for 48 hours. And she sent him out of Gaza. So these brachas of these farbrengens work, okay? So take it to heart, make a chlata if you can right now. Bli neder, you're gonna either write your own Torah Chadasha somehow, you're gonna participate in purchasing or publishing or writing a Sefer Torah or whatever it is, or maybe all three, okay? Purchasing books, being part of publishing the books, or being part of writing a Torah, or all the above, writing your own, helping others, on all levels, okay? We're gonna bli neder, maybe do one little thing in each of these areas.
Can you just give me a reminder of the places to purchase us the letters? The letters.
For children until bar and bas mitzvah, kidstorah.org. Okay, that's easy.
Okay, wait, you know what? Let me just write, I kind of want to write it down. So I think that's a good practical way to do something with the haklatas by starting by purchasing letters. That makes a little more doable.
Yes.
Okay, so the kids one is called what?
Kids, KIDS Torah.org.
With an H or without an H?
With an H. Very good.
Okay.
Easy website. I'm working on my website to be easy. Okay, so then
and for the adult Torah?
With the adult Torah, there's Sefer Torah without an H .org.il.
.org.il.
Yes, that's for anyone.
Okay.
And also people are also sending to that also for soldiers, also for kids, also for anything, any type. Then the one that we have, my husband has, is just for soldiers. But we could also, there are any Jewish soldiers also in U.S. military. Somebody was asking me. They are also helping right now. They're sending U.S. military troops to Israel or to the Middle East, to the Red Sea, to help protect Israel. So if it seems like any Jewish soldier who's
so what's yours again?
So it's okay, so the easiest one is koshersofer.com, okay, and over there it's $1 for a letter. And then if somebody wants to participate more, there's a donate button on my Bais Chana website, which is Bais Chana CA for California .weebly.com. And I'll see, I might be able to change that so it's easier website, but right now that's what it is. Oh yeah, okay, for now that's what I have, beischanaca.weebly.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. We'll see, I'm working on, doing better marketing, working on the website to make it easier. But it is pretty easy. There's a donate button and anybody can participate. It's a big schus to be part of. Like, yeah. When I heard that the Rebbe gave $1,200 for the sake of Unity Torah that he asked to write, I was like also encouraged. Like the Rebbe didn't just say write it; he participated in it in a big amount. Anyway, so it's a big schus that we have, that the Rebbe does connect all these lofty ideas, these inyanim, these insights, these convictions, right, that we got, all the inner strength, redeeming hostages, and it takes a practical small thing, baby steps, right? It doesn't have to be a huge, like we're gonna go out and conquer the world in 1 second, we do one small deed, and that's conquering the world in 1 second. That's bringing redemption to the whole world. It's pretty mind-boggling that how the Rebbe gets us just one little step forward, one more little good little deed. That's all he's asking us to do. And that's we don't have to get bogged down with like, oh, this is so overwhelming, Yehuda went to Yosef. Yosef was the ruler of the whole land of Egypt. He didn't get bogged down, well, he's the ruler, there's nothing I can do. One little step, one little approach, one little request, one more little deed. So, and we opened up this class, I for those who came late, I was reading the story of a woman who came out of captivity from Hamas. She said there was a song that kept her going, that helped her. gave her encouragement, a song that reverberated. And I was thinking, we have also our songs, our things that are keeping us going while we're in exile, and it takes us out of our own captivity, whether it is on a daily basis or is on the global basis. We have our things that are redeeming us. So these are things, these are redemptive things that we're doing. Whenever we're doing these things, these instructions of the Rebbe, we're redeeming ourselves and we're redeeming the whole world. And we're at the other end, when we're in the base of Mikdash, we're going to say, oh, remember we did this? Remember we sang this nigun together? Remember we have this for bringing? Remember we bought another letter in a Sefer Torah? Remember we bought each other's books? You know, all these things. Isn't that, we're gonna have nice memories of these moments. Okay, anybody else want to say something? Should I say the psukim? I'll say the psukim. Oh, Chavi, can you say the psukim? Are you still there? Are you near the phone? We'd love to have your beautiful voice saying the psukim. Okay, so I'll say the psukim. If you come to the phone, Chavi, you can take over. You want to say
No,
the
I'll just say it with you. I'll just say it with you.
You want it? Why don't you say it, please?
No, I like doing it with you.
Okay. Thank you.
Just slow. I like when you do it a little slower so we can like,
Right.
not, yeah.
Right, so we can think about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tziva lanu Moshe. Masha kihilas Yaakov. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. B'chol Gav Adam Liros. Ki'iluhu Yatsa Kol Yisrael Amech
Kulam Tzadikim
Ve'olam Yeshu Aretz Neta Mata'ai Maseh Yadai V'Hispaer Ki Karav Lecha Hadabar Me'od B'Ficha V'Hine Shem Nitav Alav U'Malach Kevado U'Mabit Alav U'Chen V'Yot Im Avdo Reshis Elokim Es Shamayim Ve'es Ha'aretz V'shinantam V'chamecha V'gadarta Bam V'shivtecha V'rechtecha V'derech V'chachbecha Yagati Al Tamim Lo Yagati Al Tamim Yagati U'Matzati Tamim Ve'ahavta Le'achak Kamocha Rabbi Akiva Omer Ze Kral Gadol V'Ze Kol Ha'adam V'Tachlis B'Yaso U'B'Yas Kol Ha'olamos V'Yaynim V'Taynim B'Yas Lo V'Yazu V'Taynim Yismach Yisrael B'Yaso Shekol Shahu Israel Yesh Lo L'Smach Hashem Asher Chas V'Yasa V'Tachayim Thank you, ladies. Anybody want to say something else before we say goodbye?
Have a wonderful Shabbos, a Guladik Shabbos.
Amen. Thank you.
And a meaningful fast.
Oh,
Yeah, and a redemption of all of the Swarm in Russia and the Rebbe Swarm, all the Swarm should be redeemed, all the hostages redeemed, and all of us redeemed.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
And our hostages inside ourselves.
I think that's included. If we're redeemed, then we're redeemed.
Amen. Wonderful.
I said it for myself.
All good. You should see only good.
Okay.
What did you say?
I said I had to add it for myself.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos.